Well, good evening. Part two of the edible bean planting saga. I did some videos the other day, but it was windy, blustery, and just not very good recording weather. Whether I was using my phone or the GoPro. But I am on my last field. We are planting pintos now instead of Great Northerns. Uh, not much of a breeze tonight. It's actually a pretty nice evening this evening. Made a couple rounds already. Got a few floaty clouds. Hazy because of the smoke from them guys in Canada. Yep, we're getting it clear down here too. Anyway, so suppose maybe I ought to see well, let's go see what the depth is. I think we're doing okay. The ground's pretty sandy and soft, but I still think we're all right, about right for our depth. And like usual, I like to cheat. And yeah, about 2 inches. See the little blue guy? Their pintos are in there blue, just like the northerns were. But last field, and then we're done planting for 2023 unless we have to do some replanting. As of right now, I think we'll be fine. It gets much later than this, we won't be able to replant anyway. Maybe a few beans, but so far, all the storms we've had haven't had much hail in them. What little hail we've had has been really little stuff, pea-sized stuff here or there. And gotta love it when them things come off like that. Trust me, I so much like the CCS better than I do these stupid boxes. But as you can see, they're all blue, just like before, like I already said. But we'll get a couple of them out here and look at them. And you can just barely see through that blue. Come on, phone, focus. Little speckles on there that pintos have on them. So, pinto seed. And this side was planting light the other day. And it appears that planting just about the same now. Good. I had a bearing. Matter of fact, if you can see it down in there, that particular bearing down in there was one that was out. So I think it was jumping the chain. Yeah, I'm not impressed with this planter. I think as far as our 15-inch rows go, I like that. This planter, we went backwards in technology. Sometimes that's okay, sometimes it's not. In this case, I don't know. I'm not impressed because I don't know how much seed I got in my boxes. I ran out of seed in a couple of them and thought I was fine and didn't know it. So I've got a few places where there's probably some skips and didn't even know it. And the monitor, we can't get the monitor to work on this tractor for this planter because it doesn't match. And we got some of the stuff to order for this older stuff is obsolete. Believe it or not, you can't get parts for older stuff anymore. Like this pin right here. See that pin? See what it looks like over there? We'll go over there and I'll show you. I broke that pin before I even got it out of the damn yard. And it was half cracked. You could see the old rust mark from the crack. So we go to town and go to the parts place, John Deere, and guess what? Can't get a pin. But we happen to have a hitch pin. It was 9 inches. It was 1.5 inches by 9 inches, right at exact length. So we I don't know. There's a certain word that some people would call that. I don't know. You want to call it farmerized it, I suppose. Maybe we'll call it that for this go round. Um, so I'm a little more politically correct. Not that I'm always very politically correct, but we won't use that particular word for what some people cobble things together with. Um, we rednecked it there. That'll hillbillied it. I don't know what you want to call it, but anyway, farmerized it. That's probably the best way to put it. Um, Man, it's a nice evening. You know what I really ought to be doing is drinking a beer and fishing. But no, I'm out here working because I'm a farmer. I could be drinking beer, but I don't think the boss would like that. Um, he's probably home drinking beer. But anyway, um, last field. So we're on, what is this field? Like 76 or 78 acres, I think is what this field is. And, and we'll be done. And we started swathing hay today. And as soon as I'm done with this planter and get it all cleaned out, I should be done tomorrow if I won't finish quite tonight because I don't think I'll work all night tonight. But for one, I'll have to fill with seed to fin. I'll probably have like 10 acres and I'll have to fill the seed. But anyway, he started swathing, TJ did, and as soon as I get done with this, farting around with this, and I did start this morning on a baler. Got one baler almost pre-seasoned and ready. While CJ was out here doing the field, well, yeah, I don't know what you want to call it. It's not kind of like a field cultivator, only it's got kind of like a mulch finisher, kind of. It doesn't have huge. It's got sweeps on it instead of, ripper points, but it does have the disc in the front, which we didn't go very deep with the disc. It was more incorporating bean chemical, which for edible beans we use, and you have to incorporate it, otherwise it volatilizes off and doesn't do any good for pre-emerge. It's Eptam and Sonolan's what we use, and you incorporate it. You can spray it on and incorporate it right after, or you can spray it on like most people around here. They got a setup similar to ours with the tanks on the tractor or a 3-point tank or something, and they spray it, put the bar right on the field mulcher or field cultivator or something along those lines, um, and directly spray it right in front and incorporate it into the dirt. You go a couple inches deep. You don't have to go very deep. It's just more you're smoothing out the ground a little bit. And you know, like out here, here's a wee, actually looks like a piece of grass, but you know, with the sweeps on, you're getting a few weeds fluffing up the ground a little. And that's volunteer corn. That's what that is. But you know, getting stuff like that. And so anyway, you incorporate it a little bit, about 2 to 4 inches, about 4 inches I think is what was running. And bad thing is you got to go 90 degrees according to my boss to the way you plant, which I think he's full of tabahookie. I think he likes to see me out here bounce across this rougher ground. We don't have one. Most people run a roller type packer behind it, and anyway. Everybody's different on their ideas, I guess, but that's how we do it here. And yeah, wow, that's a beautiful evening. Just a slight breeze kind of keeps you by. Like I said, it'd be a good evening to be drinking a beer. And oh, I'm not supposed to say beer, right? Adult beverage? Is that it? Anyhow, I gotta get back into the swing of doing some of this. Yep, I ain't shaved for a couple days. It's been hectic, but live with it. That's all I gotta say. This is me, who I am, and you all know that by now. But anyway, standing here yik yakking and not getting anything done. I think maybe I ought to get off of here. We'll call this part 2 of edible bean planting, and I've showed a little bit of it, showed you what the bean seed looked like. And like I said, this year is the first year for us doing the 15-inch plant deal, and I really wish we would roll this. I mean, it's better than 30 inches, but you can see you don't have an even ground, and that's the whole reason for rolling. It's isn't doesn't help the crop any. Although they have done some experiments in in soybeans where they wait till they come up a little bit and then they roll them, and it kind of breaks the stem a little bit, and something about it adds a nodule or something, I don't know, uh, to get better um, yield, which yet I not 100% sure. I haven't read whether that has done a very good job or not. But the biggest reason why you roll, whether it's soybeans, edible beans, or something where you have to have your cutter bar flat on the ground when you're doing a direct cut like we do, is you're rolling along here and you flatten this ground out like so, like this, and you're pushing rocks and stuff down. So, when you come back along here and you're mowing, mowing. Anyway, we're harvesting it, and you see how everything's flatter, so you get less trash, um, less dirt clods, all that kind of stuff in your combine. It's safer, better. Um, my boss is kind of old school. To get him to do some things that's newer, better ideas, doesn't always work out. So, not that he's a bad farmer. Some of these older farmers don't like change. That's just how it is. I've been doing it this way for so long. Why should I have to change now? Well, us younger guys say, well, there's better ways to do things. More than one way to skin a cat, right? But anyway, it's a job. I like it here, and so I don't necessarily trying to badmouth my boss. I'm not doing that. He's a good farmer. He's been doing it since 1975, I think, is when he came back and started farming with his dad. Well, because he was out doing engineering stuff before that, and then he came back, and he survived the 80s, where there's a lot of farmers that can't say they survived the 80s and the farm crisis and stuff like that. So you can't totally say the guy's dumb for the way he does things, and he's a good farmer for what he does. But I wish we could do some newer things. We strip till and rolling and some of that kind of stuff, I think would be better for us. But we just got him talked into the 15-inch row thing, so I guess baby steps, right? Is that how that works when you're trying to talk somebody into something and you don't own it and you don't write the paycheck or you don't write the check to buy the equipment? So, uh, anyhow, enough of that particular yakking, and I think I need to get off of here and get to work. And a few floaty clouds off in the distance there, if you can kind of make them out through the haze. And hope I have a pretty decent sunset. And well, this has been Neals Farming and Gaming, and we'll catch up on the flip side. And remember, keep the rubber side down.